Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Gibson Show. Ahead of CL today, we have another special guest. We are joined by the one and only Neox. Neox, you've qualified for CL. You're going to be pretty excited.
Yeah. We are. As a team, we are. As a player, I am. We're waiting for tomorrow. We can't wait to start.
Mm-hmm. And the big thing for me is you look at the regions that are being kind of represented. You've got a lot of MPL teams, a couple of French teams, and 2 teams from the GSA region. Obviously, France is looking pretty good right now at the highest level. You know, obviously Wolves are playing very well. You've got BDS who look like they're doing pretty well as well. So I'm guessing you kind of want to do the same for Challenger League. You want to get you guys, and obviously you want to get the guys from Ascend to do pretty well as well.
Yeah. We always been really well represented as a French country. I mean that in the England people basically. Yeah, it's the objective, like to be the better French team in CL. To represent well the country. If we can have a final with a French team against a French team, even if that's not us, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great.
You would love it. So for a lot of the fans out here that may not watch the French league and they might have seen a little bit of the qualifiers, obviously you guys got in at the very last moment along with the ex-Coalesce roster. How would you describe, maybe yourself to that new audience?
Myself or the team?
We'll start with you and then we'll talk a bit about the team then.
Myself. I mean, I started the game like 4 years ago now. Gonna be my 5th year in a few. I've always been the kind of player to basically put 200% of myself in the game. Always trying to be as perfect as I can be. As a teammate, as a player, always trying to improve, to perfect my game. And so basically, that's my 3rd CL now. I've done 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. So yeah, that's basically my objective to go in CL and prove myself again and again.
Yeah, and for the viewers at home, Les Pichichi, or can I say Les Pichichi Chichi, because it's an interesting Le Pichichi. Tell me a little bit about the team then, for anyone watching. What sort of roles are players going to take up? Who's kind of the X factor on the team that people should keep an eye on? Just let us all know that information.
Basically, the team, we've been together less than 1 month. We just basically qualified on the 3rd qualifier. Just playing that one and making enough points to qualify. And yeah, that was really hard. But yeah, as a team, like we know we have the talent to really be good. It's a shame for us that we didn't have more time to prepare, but we know we can. We have the talent too in the team as an X factor. I think, and that's something we talked about. And Ace in the team said one thing, and I think I really do agree with him. He said like, that's the first time in the team that I feel everyone can be an X factor. And I'm kinda in the bits of the same mood. Like I feel really everyone can step up. Everyone can clutch a game. Everyone can have a good game. Everyone can win a round, and that it can come from everyone in the team.
Yeah, it's actually, that's the sort of thing that I like to hear, because obviously what I know about you guys is very little as well. Everyone knows the same. You're a brand new team, but yeah, I want to ask you about the emotion in the team, because obviously one qualifier got you enough to get in, but at the time you got knocked out, it wasn't enough. You thought that you guys, you thought you kind of fell a little bit short. You were a couple of points off the tally. So obviously that would have been really deflating. But then a couple of days later, you got notification that you actually made it to CL. Yeah. How did the team kind of take the bad news of not making it? And then how did you feel whenever you found out that you actually had made it then?
I mean, we didn't tell it, but we knew from the night after the CL that we were in. because there was a rule with we can add 10 points on our main points, because of Shade, Noera, and Ace been in Ascent before, so we did respect the 3 out of 5 rules. So we knew it. We basically knew it the night, but it was really good, and we were astonished by the fact that we just needed 1 qualifier.
Yeah.
Like some teams been playing 3 qualifier, they didn't do it, and we did in 1, and we were like, imagine if we had 6 months together, like, and that was basically the mood. Like, okay, guys, like we can do it. It's okay.
And I suppose the big thing about having only played 1 qualifier and making it in that way and being a relatively new team as well, a new 5, do you think that gives you a bit of an advantage going in? Because I know people would say you didn't get a lot of time to practice, you haven't played together a long time, but at the same time, that means the teams you're playing against, they're not going to have a lot of tape to watch. You know, they're only going to be able to kind of see what they saw on CL and what they've seen in scrims. So do you think that kind of gives you an advantage that teams don't really know what to expect from you guys yet?
They will not know, but I don't think they will underestimate us. I think they're going to play, every team is going to play the way they play. The main thing is we don't have the pressure to make a result.
Yeah.
Like, we already did the result by qualifying in 1 qualifier.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like, it's okay. It's we've created a bit of story qualifying in 1, the French team qualifying in 1 qualifier. The rest is bonus, and that's the thing. Like, if we go out of the if we go to playoff, I mean, yeah, so no one would have expected us, and we are the underdogs. It's incredible. If we go out of the groups, what's happened? Like, yeah, it's normal. They had 1 month. Like, we are gonna play with no pressure.
Yeah.
And maybe other people will. But if we don't, it's okay. See you next year.
Yeah, I get that attitude, but at the same time, you kind of want to do well deep down.
Yeah,
said,
we do.
You want to make the final.
There is not we don't have the pressure of telling us like, guys, it's been we've been 1 year together. Now it's the time to make result. No, like we have 1 month. It's we don't take that pressure.
So let's talk a little bit about the group then. So you're obviously in Group D, which looking at it, group. It's a very every group is kind of a death group when you look at it. But you know, you've got Tenstar in there, the champions of MPL. You've got Makers in there, the champions of Italy. You've got M&M Academy, which, like you, got enough points in 1 qualifier alone, being qualifier 2, to make it into CL. And then there's you guys. So we'll talk a little bit about the teams in the group and what you think of them. So we'll start off with Tenstar. You know, a lot of people know the story of them this year and what they've won. What are your kind of thoughts on Tenstar?
They are a good team. The fact that they won NPL is well deserved. I know a bit of the guy. Ridio was my old coach. I know how they work. I know they're good guys. So like, it's deserved, and they're a well good team. I think they're gonna go out of the groups.
And then you've got Makers, and they've made a couple of changes as well, but they've got some very dangerous players. You know, Aki and Lolo in particular. Incredibly gifted, talented players. What are your thoughts on playing them, and how do you think your matchup with them would go?
I think that I don't know how it goes again. Then it depends on the day, and which I really think it depends on which map we're gonna play. They are also a good team. I mean, I know a few of them, and I think it's gonna be a good game, a close game. And yeah, a close game. I think it's going to be.
I'm looking forward to it. Then finally, you've got M&M Academy, so a team that, you know, we've said, you know, I had an interview with Kenny. We spoke about it. The MPL didn't quite go the way they might have wanted at the end. They lost a lot of games in that second split, but they made a couple of changes. They brought in 2 new players, and it looks like it's working for them. How do you see them in this group?
I think they're going to perform well. I think they are a really good team. Again, I know. I mean, I played a bit with Nerf. Also with Skiddy they had before he went to Navi. I mean, they are good people, and this is a team like I know it's working really great. They are giving their heart and souls into the game, and even if like tomorrow they're not performing the way they want, tomorrow they're gonna work 12 hours straight, and like let's go. They basically have Eminem as an example to do well. I mean, and I know they will.
Yeah,
I know they will.
I'm excited. Group D, it looks like it's going to be a really fun one.
Yeah, it's like we call it. It's a death group. Like for me, it's compared to the other groups, it's the most leveled one.
Yeah,
you can compare a bit to the one to C, but I think overall it's the D. It's the one with the more level, and I'm not surprised if the two teams of Group D finish in top finals in CL. Like I'm not going to be surprised.
I'm excited. I really am, because the action kicks off tomorrow. It's literally just over 12 hours away from the first game of CL when we're recording this. So I want to talk about the other groups now then, and kind of get your vibe. And this is where we're kind of going to get your predictions. I didn't want you to predict your own group, because that's tough. You know, you don't want to predict your own group because you're playing in it. But I want your predictions for the other groups. So we'll go to Group A first. And Group A is a good one, because I had Quick on from Jay Lings, and he was very confident. You know, he was saying Jay Lings...
Yeah, but it's G-Links. They're always doing that.
So, you know, Victus, Rebels, Jay Lings, and Viali Petoni, who are you seeing as the strongest side out of that group, and who do you think will sneak in second?
The first one, for me, it's Victus.
Yeah.
And Victus, for me, are gonna make finals.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. For me. Even like we know they are favorite, they've done a great NPL, but even with that NPL, they didn't show anything they had.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's one of the top teams without thinking. I know some of them. I know Oscar. I was coached by their coach Jake. Like for me, I think they're gonna go in finals. So I'm gonna say top one of these groups, and Victus into finals.
I like it.
That's my favorite teams, honestly, in this year.
And who do you think is going to come second in that group?
That depends if Quick is right on his words or not. No, I think J-Links should be second. They have the talent too. The thing is, when they are gonna play, is it going to work or not? But normally they should be second, easily, without doubt, and that's it.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, we didn't see a lot of Vitali Pitoni, if I'm right. If I'm right, that's how they called. And the last one is.
The last one then is, of course, the last one is Rebels. Goga.
Rebels.
Croc and Thunder.
Yeah, we will see. Honestly, it's between J-Links and Rebels, whatever happens. But I see more talent maybe in J-Links overall than Rebels. And so I'm going to say J-Links in second.
I like it. They'll be glad to hear that. They definitely will.
I mean, I'm not saying Rebels is bad. I'm just saying, like, overall in the team, maybe Jennings have more talent, but I think it's for me, Jennings is really like, either it works or it doesn't.
Yeah.
But if it works, like, they're gonna smash a lot of people.
And if you get Draw on a good day, Draw's incredible. You know, whenever he's feeling it.
Exactly. But if Jennings doesn't work, like, it's not gonna work, and they might finish third or fourth for me.
Well, that's a good call. So then we'll move on to Group B, and this to me is the most interesting group in CL, because you've got Activity, who, if we're being honest, nobody expected them to win BNL ahead of J-Lings. I think at the start of the year, everybody thought J-Lings were going to be the team to beat. You've got Land Party Hotel, the best team in V4. Then you've got the X-Ovation roster from GSA, and you've got Death Row.
Yeah.
It's an interesting group because there's definitely going to be a wild card feel to the team that makes it out of that. But who do you think's the strongest one in that group at the moment?
The strongest one in that group? For me, I honestly say the strongest one will be Death Row.
Yeah.
In that group, yeah. For me, that's the one, maybe the better prepared for groups.
Yeah.
After that one, it's complicated.
Yeah.
I cannot predict who is gonna be second in that group.
it is a tough one to guess, isn't it? I think the one thing I'll say about Death Row is they looked very good in that third qualifier. You know, even in their best of 3 against M&M Academy, they did look a very good side. So I'm really keen to see what they can do if they can get out of the group and even in the group itself. And then last but not least, Group C, you've got Ascend, which obviously you know very well, being a French side. A couple of changes there. You know, they lost probably the best player in Tier 2, but they replaced them with a couple of very good players. You've got Wild in there, who fresh off the back of a trip to a massive LAN where they beat the likes of SSG, and they managed to beat, I think it was Team Liquid as well. And you've got Viperio 86, who are off the back of a couple of roster changes. And then the other side that were a bit like you know, the ex-Coalesce roster, they finished that day thinking they hadn't made it, and then they ended up getting in. So what are your thoughts on that one?
On that group, I think the first... it's hard to say for me because, like, I want to be Ascend the first one, but I don't think they're going to perform well in group. They're just going to, like, go second, but smash everyone in playoff. You
think they're ready for BO3s?
Yeah, I think they're more ready for BO3s than for BO1s, basically. And because, like, you can get surprised by, I don't know, you can get surprised by Carlis, you can get surprised by Viperio, but I think the first is going to be Wild because of the playstyle in BO1, it's going to work perfectly. So they're going to smash everyone. Second, for me, is going to be Ascent. And then we'll see, but third and fifth and fourth, it's going to be Viperio and Collis. Not fourth, in that order, but for me, it's really, like, Viperio had too much changes, and even in qualifiers, they played with the coach because they had to. So I don't know how ready they are, but we'll see. Might be a good surprise.
So we'll do a couple of fun things now as we get ready to kind of wrap up the interview. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I want to see what your thoughts are on them. So first off, who do you think is the most mechanically gifted player in this Challenger League? Like, who's
in this Challenger League?
Yeah.
Mechanically gifted. That's a good question. That's a really good question. I honestly don't know, because if I say someone of my team, like, it's gonna be too biased, you know. So no, I'm gonna say no. Yes, there is one player.
Yeah.
Maybe mechanically, maybe I don't know if this is the best, but there is one that I really like. It's Deadshot from Ascent.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Wait, it's his name, Jimmy. He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. And I think he's the one that really can, in a way, replace Likefak in that team.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Even though they've lost Likefak, the amount of different ways I've heard his name said now, Efak, Likefak,
Likefak.
Yeah, I think...
Yes.
They've made good changes. You know, you may be losing that real star power he had, but the changes they made around him, I think, will complement the team. So now we're talking about the other players. Who's your favorite player to play against in MPL? Whether it's because you beat them every time you play them, or whether it's because you just always think it's a good match against them. What individual player are you looking forward to maybe playing against?
Individual player?
Yeah. Tough one, isn't it?
In groups, okay. Let's go in groups. In groups, the team I want to play, it's definitely MKers.
Yeah.
Not for a specific player, but for the whole team.
Yeah.
And overall, a player. That's a good question.
Yeah.
No, I honestly don't know. Like, there are a few teams that I would like to play. Therefore, being one of them. G-Links, Defro. Also, no, that's it. G-Links, Defro, MKers.
Yeah.
And Ascent, basically the French team.
Yeah.
we would like to play them.
I'd say definitely would, because it's a bit of bragging rights then, I suppose, going into the rest of the.
No, I mean it's not like we have bad feelings against them, or we're not friends, etc. But like between French players, I want to play them, you know.
Yeah.
That's it basically.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So we're just about time to wrap up. So I'm going to ask you now, anything else you want to say to any of the viewers or fans or other teams before we get started, or before you get started?
Thanks to followers. Basically, we saw a lot of fans cheering for us during the streams. Thanks for that, les pichichi on top. And no, thanks a lot. Honestly, thanks for this interview. We're gonna see us tomorrow. We're gonna see us all the weekend and next weekend. And the last thing I want to say is, who doesn't like a good underdog story?
That is true. Well, you heard it exactly from Neox. So if you want to, make sure and give him a follow. I'm sure he'll keep you up to date with everything Les Pichichi.
Yes.
Games kick off tomorrow, Friday, from about, I think it's 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock GMT, 6 o'clock CEST. So make sure and tune in for all the action. Support the boys. And if you haven't, like I said, give the man a follow on Twitter. And we'll see you all later. Thank you very much.
Thank you.